Light and Logic, where we hope to shine both the light and the logic of Christ. Today's video is going to be super casual. I'm going to be talking about 5 Bible teachers that have played a huge part of my faith journey from probably when I was about 16 to now. By the time this episode comes out, I will be 24, which is crazy. That's my mid-20s. Anyway, so this is going to span quite a bit of time. Each of these Bible teachers has played a role in my life at different points in my life. But I think that some of the people on this list are honestly some of the most influential Bible teachers of our day. And so I want to expose these people to you and just talk about them a little bit. These are in no particular order, by the way. But anyway, the first one on my list is Mike Winger of Bible Thinker. He's a California pastor who's been he's been a pastor for 14 years. I don't know if he's in parish ministry anymore, but he has this online ministry called Bible Thinker, where he puts out weekly videos. I believe it's 2 times a week. He does 10 questions with or 20 questions with Pastor Mike, and he answers his questions on the fly. It's amazing. He covers all topics, hard, easy, and everything in between. He actually just did a 40-plus hour series on women in ministry. Not he researched for that long. That's the length of videos that he put out. It's not all together. It's broken up. It's incredible the amount of work that this man did in order to present a clear case for women in ministry. He researched for over 2 years on this project. Insane. I'm going to be honest, I haven't watched through them all. I haven't watched through all 40 plus hours of things yet, but I intend to. The work that he puts in to make sure that he is presenting a biblically accurate case is far and few between. I've never seen anything like it. His content is also free, like completely free on YouTube. He doesn't ask for people to donate. In fact, he asks people not to. He does have I think a section on his website that you can, but it's literally turns people away almost. He has such a heart for just spreading the gospel without asking for anything in return. He's also able to so accurately articulate arguments and so thoughtfully work through arguments in such a truthful manner without being harsh. You can just see the love come through this man on screen. His ability to show multiple angles of a subject is just incredible. He doesn't try to gloss over things. He shows the entire argument and then he works through those things. And so that's why his Women in Ministry series was 40 plus hours long, is because he was presenting all sides of the spectrum in such incredible ways. I don't think I've ever seen another Bible teacher who's so able to present the truth in love while not wavering from the truth. You just watch his videos and you're like, wow, this man truly loves what he does and truly cares for all of the people watching his videos. And even those that aren't, he desires that everyone would come to know Christ. Anyway, he's one that's been very influential on me in the last few years, and I'm still really influenced by what he has to say. Number 2 is also one that's currently impacting me, but one that started impacting me way back there when I was just a young girl. Anyway, his name is Tim Barnett from Stand to Reason and also Red Pen Logic. So, Tim Barnett is a Canadian science teacher turned apologist. He actually worked as a science teacher while he was doing apologetics gigs, and now I believe that he's just full-time apologetics. His social media platform, Red Pen Logic, launched a couple years ago, and it's basically short-form content that focuses on dismantling religious falsehoods posted on social media, so TikToks, Instagram stories, just little videos. It's really interesting. I've actually had the pleasure of watching him in person 3 or 4 times. He came to this small Bible camp that I attended. This was before he was really big. And then he came to the Bible school that I was at when he, right before he started getting big with Red Pen Logic. He's the person that opened my eyes to apologetics. He was the first person that I remember, I'm sure others told me, that my faith is not without evidence. And also that religion and science aren't competing with each other, they're complementary. So anyway, he's highly influenced me, highly influenced why this channel exists, and the way that our ministry, I guess, is conducted. He just came out with a book. Oh, I have it. 1 second. Okay, this book. I knew I had it on my bookshelf. I only grabbed one and I was like, where are my other books? Anyway, I just finished reading this one. He just came out with this book with Alisa Childers. It's called The Deconstruction of Christianity. I might do a video on this later. It basically just talks about deconstruction in this modern age and breaks it down gives examples of how we can help people. It's very comprehensive, also a very easy read. I loved it. I'd totally recommend it for you. Anyway, one thing that really impresses me about Tim is his ability to think on his feet. He speaks so eloquently on all of his topics, but when someone throws a question at him, he just is able to whip out answers like that. It's crazy. He's also very good at letting people know when he doesn't know something, so he doesn't pretend to know everything. He stops when he doesn't know an answer, which I really appreciate. He is one that I still follow pretty closely, and like I said, he's very influential on me and diving into the world of apologetics. Number 3 is David Marvin. He is a pastor at City Bridge Church, and he was formerly at the Porch Ministries, which was like a young adults ministry. While he was serving in that capacity, there was this podcast that they put out called Views from the Porch, and this was like short form content focused on one question that pertained to young adults. This was super influential to me in my late teens and early 20s. Early 20s, I'm only 24, but anyway, my late teens and early 20s. They give very practical advice, yet very biblically solid advice, if that makes sense. He speaks with truth, but with nuance and love as well. He doesn't waver in the truth, no matter how hard it is, which I really appreciate. Him and his wife recently lost their 4th child. Her name is Lottie Moon Marvin, and they have handled it with such grace and such, I don't even know. Like, I've never seen a couple navigate a loss in this way, and I know I only see what's on social media, but the way that they talk about meeting their daughter again in heaven, the way that they've presented her life, is amazing. I messaged him the other day. Anyway, that's neither here nor there, but anyway, his little girl has impacted me so deeply. He's so confident that he'll see her again in heaven, and I know that he will, but it's amazing to see someone walk through such deep pain but handle it so gracefully too. So anyway, if you think about them, please pray for them as they navigate the loss of their baby. Such a cutie, little Lottie Moon. Moving on for that is number 4. We have Jonathan Pokluda. He also goes by JP, and he's of Harris Creek Baptist Church. He was also part of the Porch Ministries right before David came into the scene, or maybe there's some overlap there. He's currently on the Becoming Something podcast, which is very similar to Views from the Porch. He was also on Views from the Porch before, but anyway, it's like the same thing, young adult content focusing on one question, very practical advice. He speaks truth so precisely, even when it hurts. He doesn't mince words, he shoots straight. He lets you know what truth is, which I really appreciate. He's written several books, one of which is called Outdated, which talks about where dating came from, the history of that, and then how Christians can date in a God-honoring way. It talks a lot about how dating is something that came about 100 years ago, and how we don't have to follow along with what the world does. It's that book was very influential to me before I got married, when I was dating my husband. In a section of it, he lays out questions that you should ask each other, and it's just amazing. It's such a nice resource. The book is laid out exactly how he talks, so it shoots you straight, but I really appreciate that. I followed him more when I was a couple years younger, so my late teens, early 20s, but I still keep up with what he puts out because their ministry is awesome, and I appreciate the advice nature of his content, if that makes sense. Finally, number 5 is Jeff and Alisa Bethke of Family Teams. They are authors and content creators, and then they are focused right now on a family ministry, various family ministries. One of them is called Family Teams. Jeff and Alisa used to have a podcast. I can't remember what it was called, but it was one of my favorite podcasts ever. I don't think they do it anymore because their lives they've kind of shifted from young adult relationship stuff to family stuff because they have a family of their own. Anyway, very influential to me. Jeff wrote one of my favorite books, To Hell with the Hustle. This was, I don't even know when this came out, like 2020 maybe? It must have been 2020, 2019. Oh, wait, let me see. 2019, this came out in 2019. This focuses on hustle culture and all the ills that brings. It focuses on a life that has margins and ways in which parameters in life are a good thing. So an illustration that he uses is the illustration of jumping out of an airplane with a parachute. It's like the most freeing experience people talk about ever having, but yet you're the most constrained you ever will be, because if you jump out of a plane without that parachute on, you're gonna die. And so I just love the analogy of parameters being a really good thing, and that's where true freedom is found, is within parameters that God gives us. Like I said about 300 times, this book was really influential to me, is still influential to me, and it it helps me think about rest in my life and Sabbath in my life today. Their family actually like celebrates a type of Sabbath, not in like because they're Jewish and think they need to observe the law, but just because that rest aspect is something that's really huge to their family. This couple was more influential to me when I was a little bit younger, so I don't keep up with them as much right now, but I think when I have a family, I will definitely be diving into their family resources, maybe a little bit before I have kids. But anyway, yeah, really love this couple, really love their work that they're doing. That's literally all I have for this week. I just want to brag on some people that have made an impact on my life, and I want to share them with you. I want to know, what are some of your favorite Bible teachers? Put them in the comments down below. I'd love to hear from you. Maybe I will be inspired to find some other Bible teachers if you recommend some. So anyway, thanks for tuning into this week's episode. If you feel so inclined, please like and subscribe to this channel. It helps boost our channel, obviously. But thanks for tuning in for another week. I'll talk to you next time. Bye.